Rudolph Speid needs to stop the balling, and Reggae Boyz coach Steve McClaren must start selecting on-form players.
Jamaica have a lifeline. How about this?
Big up Gunnaz, I hear that. Don't know some of the Gunnaz say, but big up Gunnaz.
If you're new here, help me to get to my goal of 3,500 subscribers before the end of the month. Now, guys, we are almost there, just around 150 subscribers left to get to that goal of 3,500 subscribers before the end of the month. So if you're new here and you have not yet selected it or hit that subscribe button, if you're also a returning viewer and you have just been so stubborn, just go ahead right now and hit that fat subscribe button and smash the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I do post videos. And also remember, guys, every single video I do on this channel must get to 100 likes. So remember to like the video. Go ahead, smash that like button so that it can get to a whole lot more people and the video can spread. Because I think a lot of you guys can admit, you guys always come to watch and you guys can admit that I do good content here and I always have something that is good to listen to and is substantial. So if you like the content, please reward it with a like, a physical like. Hit that like button. So in this video, I'll be talking about Rudolph Speid and other managers who have always had these lame excuses when results do not go their way. And also, I will be speaking about the Reggae Boyz team and how I think it should be selected going forward. Now, starting off with Rudolph Speid, his team Cavaliers suffered their first defeat of the Jamaica Premier League season as they collected a hot bob from Anthony Patrick's Racing United at the Ferdinand Park. Now, Mr. Speid was a bit bitter in his post-match interview with one thing in particular that he said just really got to me because I hate hearing when managers say this.
Well, it was a difficult match for us. Racing never really came to play the game. They just basically parked the bus and try and play on the counter. And when we missed so many chances in addition, you know, it was just a half-full game from us today.
No, yeah, you guys must have picked up by now what that thing is. And it's basically when managers come out and say that the other team did not come to play football. Like, not because you have a specific way how you want to play football and a perfect image in the mind of how you want that football game to go, does not mean that that same perfect image is in the other team's mind. At the end of the day, a football match is 11 players with a bench going out for 90 minutes to do everything with that football to score a goal and keep the opposition from scoring. The 3 points is the most important thing. So at the end of the day, if a team gets a goal and they decide to park the bus for the rest of the game, it has its pros and it has its cons. Majority of the times in football, it does not work because a quality team will eventually break them down. But at the end of the day, a lot of coaches rather to take that risk other than to go gun-ho and lose the game 5-6-0, right? Or concede a whole lot of chances, yet goals, right? So I just don't like hearing when managers say, and it's not only Rudolph Speid, a whole lot of managers, even in the top parts of the game, you like your Pep Guardiola's, he loves to use that excuse anytime Manchester United loses, but the other team did not come to play. Like, what else is the team there to do? They are there to play. Not because the team does not want to play like you means that they're not there to play. Find a way to break down the team. When you get your chances, take it and stop blaming the other team for either using dark arts, right, or defending the box, right? There are so many different ways to win a football match. And I'm just sick and tired of coaches when they lose football matches or drop points, having a dig at the team that beat them and took away their 3 points for not coming to play football. Yes, they did come to play football. There are many ways to win a football match and there are many ways to play this sport. Respect every single way that a football match can be won. Yes, some ways are more glamorous and some ways are more better to look at and better to watch. But at the end of the day, you have to respect the craft. And if a manager can go there and get 3 points playing bullshit football, you have to respect his craft if that is the way how he wants to win football matches, right? So, again, I don't like when coaches come out and say that. I, for one, don't really like the dark arts because if you guys see me at football matches, when players go down in the JPL, I always get angry. But at the end of the day, if I'm a coach, I might be telling my players to do the same thing. And Anthony Patrick was asked about his usage or his team's usage of the dark arts, and this is what he had to say.
When look all over the world in football, whenever the opponent get ascendancy, you need to slow down the game as much as possible to try to slow down the game and try to break their momentum going forward.
So all in all, the better team on the day won, and Mr. Speid just has to admit that and move on. Cavaliers are a quality team, and I think most people will expect them to be in the playoffs and reach at least the semi-final of the JPL this season. But please give credit to the team that beat you, no matter what way they beat you, right? There are more than one way to win a football match. So yeah, just don't be saying that again. Right? But big up yourself same way, Mr. Speid. You know, so we always have the utmost respect. Now, for clips of the full interviews and everything in local football, you guys just go ahead and check out Knockings, right? He's a YouTuber, and he also does a whole lot of social media work to really promote local football. So if you guys love local football and you guys want to keep tabs with the latest in local football, just go ahead and follow Knockings on Instagram and also subscribe to his YouTube channel. I'll leave a link below in my description so that you guys can hit that link and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Help him get to 3,000 subscribers. Now moving on to the Reggae Boyz. And due to poor performances and results, many Reggae Boyz fans have come to really question Steve McClaren's selection of the squad. So in this video, I'll give my opinion on how I think the squad should be selected. Now please, don't really jump after me in the comment section. Wait until we finish with my points, and then you can really go in the comment section and let me know what you think about what I've said. Now, I am no coach, right? And obviously, Steve McClaren will know a whole lot. But I think as football fans, we've watched football for a good while, and we can give our analysis and give our thoughts on how we think things should be done, right? Now, I think we can all agree that the team should be selected based on merit. But one key thing that we all seem to forget is that merit can be broken down into multiple different categories. And I believe this team should be selected on merit, but merit should be broken down into 3 specific categories, which I believe would make the selection much easier. Now, the chemistry of the team on the pitch, like we all know they're a good group and they might be laughy, dovey off the pitch. But on the pitch, to me, the chemistry has been non-existent for the better part of a year. The last time I can really remember this team being in sync as it relates to chemistry was back in our last World Cup campaign, right? So I don't think chemistry should be a main contributor right now. The 3 things of selection, or the 3 categories of selection that will aid the proper chemistry on the field, to me, are selecting players with credit in the bank, selecting players on form for their club, and lastly, selecting an X-factor player. Now, I'll just go through briefly what I mean by these 3. Now, selecting players with credit in the bank basically means these players have had to play for Jamaica before and had stellar performances for Jamaica. And we know that once these players get on the pitch, 8 times out of 10, they are going to be performing and they are going to do something that influences the game and has a big chance in us winning a football match, right? And players that fall under that category, for me, would be the likes of Andre Blake, Ethan Pinnock, and Damar Gray, right? Now, a whole lot of people have been cursing Damar Gray and his performances, but yet still he has 7 goals in 20 appearances for the national team. And if I'm going to be very honest, that is not bad, right? It's a decent, it's okay. That's an okay return for international football. So I believe, and also Boza, right? Because Boza does have a whole lot of credit in the bank for this national team. And remember, guys, I'm talking about the squad, not the starting 11. So based off merit in the category of selecting players with credit in the bank, I'm going to go for Andre Blake, Ethan Pinnock, Damar Gray, and Shamar Boza-Nichols. Now, the next category is selecting players on form for their club, right? Now, in the past window, we've seen where Steve McClaren has selected players that have not been playing football. And for me, it has really affected the mood and affected the way how the Jamaica football team is going about it. Because I'm telling you, playing for under 21s, reserves is one thing. But when it comes to playing against professionals that are playing elite, top-level football week in, week out, it's a completely different thing. not only physically, but also tactically. The tactical level at youth football is completely different to the tactical level at elite men's football, right? And to be playing in reserves football against under 21 players, it is just not going to cut it tactically. And you just aren't going to be as sharp tactically as if you were playing in a top league against men, right? So I think this should be really, really considered as a main category when selecting players. They should be on form for their club. And I say that to say John Russell should have been selected from the very get-go of the last window. Ravel Morrison should have been selected as well from the very get-go of the last window. We need to be selecting players that are on form. Now, I'm not going to be calling out and being negative about players that were selected, but this is how I want to see it going forward. If a player is on form and they have been on form for a period of games between the last international window and the current international window, that player should be selected, and it is just that simple. Right? On-form players, you want to keep that going, and they are going to have a positive buzz, and it will affect the chemistry of the team in a good way for me. Right? Now, the last thing the last category that I want to touch into is selecting an X-Factor player. Now, an X-Factor player, as you guys all know, is someone that is going to bring something different. Someone that is either known or not known that can really affect a game, right? And no matter what you do, you just can't really stop that. Either because it's unpredictable because you don't know the player, or the player is just too good at that specific thing in a specific moment, in a specific game state, that once you put on that player, it can't be stopped. Now, an X-Factor player, an example of an X-Factor player would be like a Ronaldo Cephas, right? I think a lot of us don't really like the idea of Ronaldo Cephas starting football matches, but he has to be in the squad because he has proven time and time again that he can affect the game in Concacaf football, right? So we need to be searching for those X-Factor players, a player that can score a goal from distance, like a Ravel Morrison. He can score from a direct free kick, right? He can score from distance. He can create something out of nothing, right? So those are my three main categories that I think C. McClaren should really focus on. If a player ticks all three boxes, that player gets into the national team setup. If the player picks two boxes, he gets in. And then the delegation or the cutting should come from players that either have none of those boxes or only have one, right? So, even though if C. McClaren ever watch this video, but hopefully, if he does, or if nobody from JFF watching video and I whisper in his ears, we can let him know. My three main categories in how this team should be selected are selecting players with credit in the bank, selecting players that are on form for their club, and selecting X-Factor players. Now, let me know in the comment section what you guys think about my thoughts in this video. Not only the Reggae Boyz, but also Rudolph Speid and how he goes about not giving managers their credit for beating them parking the bus. You see me? Big up Racing every time. Big up Waters all the time. You don't say my two JPL teams that. But as I said, leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. Remember to like the video. Every single Gunnaz video must get to 100 likes. Respect, ratings, love for all the support that you guys have given to the channel and to me. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Jamaica have a lifeline. How about this?
Big up Gunnaz, I hear that. Don't know some of the Gunnaz myself, but big up Gunnaz.